Well, I'm delighted that it's going through, or certainly to the next stage, because there's a lot of people who, frankly, will always want to continue to their last breath, and that's great, and we should help them, and that's what NHS and palliative care is for. But there are also some people, and maybe listening right now, who have got a pretty awful disease like motor neuron or Parkinson's, and who know that they're going to die in pain or in distress, and they want to have the option of saying, "Thank you, God, I've had a great life, but I am terminally ill, and I would like to let go a few weeks early rather than stagger on in pain." And I think the question is, whose life is it? Whose death is it? And if we think that we have a right to as good a life as possible, which hopefully we would agree, then surely we should have as good a death as possible. And if somebody is terminally ill, mentally competent, and in pain, in whose interest are we forcing them to stay alive against their will? This, to me, is a humane and religious response, and it's really enormously important.
How does this legislation sit with your values and your spirituality, the scriptures that you teach, Rabbi?
Very comfortably, because we teach that we should help people in whatever way is possible. And if someone is dying in pain, and we're not talking about someone who's going through a bad patch, this is the difference between assisted dying and suicide. Someone who commits suicide might otherwise have lived on for another 30 or 40 years. Assisted dying is someone who's already died. They are terminally ill. They do not have long to go, a bit like Frank Field, Lord Field. And they want to go a few weeks early and not have to suffer on. For someone who regularly goes to hospital and hospices, who strive enormously hard to help people, I see so many people dying in agony that it's a humane, it's a religious thing to do. And I think we should use our God-given abilities to help people if they so wish. And of course, the assisted bit, it's not somebody else doing it. The assistance only comes when they go to a doctor and get a prescription, a life-ending prescription, and that's the assistance. They have to do it themselves in their own time, in their own way, with family around or by themselves. So that's the assisted bit, and why it's different from suicide and from euthanasia.